Okay, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Army Overlord, and welcome to the matchup between Polarity and Ænima United. Once again, we get ourselves a little bit of a matchup here between these two teams. One
Draven
team that
out.
really needs some good wins to get themselves higher in the standings,
I'm
where
on to you.
the opposite is the case for Ænima United, where they need to get wins desperately as well. So both teams are raring to go, ready to fight, ready to clash. It's time, ladies and gentlemen, to get our games into action. And hopefully, we can get it into action quickly.
The joke's on you.
Let's see, right off the bat, we got
No cure
ourselves
for fools.
a couple of bans already in the place here. Draven has been taken out, Shaco's out, Twitch is out, Yasuo is out as well. So everyone's very much aware of what the others are pretty confident and good with. Some studying has been done since the earlier part of the week. So good old Army Overlord is here to bring up the positivity of
End of
this
the
stream
line.
single-handedly with absolutely nobody to help me out here. It's going to be hopefully a two series games. Let's hope it's actually going to be a best of three series game. I'm going to be
Ah.
either excited or completely drained, but I've got myself a lot of soda, I got myself a lot of snacks. I am ready to single-handedly cast this entire game by myself. Let's do this! Woo! Energy pumping, let's do this! And I'm ready for this. Okay, looks like right off the bat, Dark Apollo has taken himself a Fiora into the top lane, leaving Ryan in the position to take a champion. I have seen Ryan in Friday's game a few days ago, taking a Brand into the top lane spot. Would not be surprised if he does it again here, but looks like it will take a Wukong as the first pick here. Could most possibly be the... Never mind. I think that pretty much clinches it. Ryan appears to be taking Wukong into the top spot here. I would have actually have saved that, maybe even rescheduled the decision here, because you could have picked the support right off the bat. Interesting decision enough. Maybe they want to take it right off the board away from Vastox, who is currently a very proactive Wukong main. Perhaps they just want to get it away from Vastox and prevent that opportunity from coming about here. Let's hope for the best here, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm hoping for the absolute best out of everyone's performances here. Sicarius right now appears to be sitting on Echo. I did hear a little bit about Sicarius through Pun Pride the other day on Saturday, during one of the Saturday games. Sicarius apparently is more skilled into physical damage champions, is what I heard. But I'm pretty sure over the courses of the next few days, he definitely has improved his AP champion pool. He's definitely going to be a good threat out there, and I would very much love to see what Sicarius has in store for the circumstances at hand. Right now, again on backtrack here, Springfield appears to be the final pick as we go right back into the banning system right off the bat here. So far, top laners, junglers, and mid laners have been picked here. Nobody has taken into the support spots so far, nor have they picked an AD carry yet, which means some more ADC should probably be taken right off the board. Yes, there goes the first one here. Gonna be pretty excited to see what other ones we could
No
possibly
problem.
get off the board. Ezreal seems to be the follow-up pick. Ashe is still on the board and is a very good anti-tank destroyer, which, by the way, speaking of tanks, Gragas once again being played in the competitive series, once again being the #1 champion most played in the bronze, silver, and gold competitive series, will continue to be played in this game, and Vastox takes it as well. Ooh, a little bit of sour note playing by Sona. Does not like being banned off the board here. One of those rare occurrences where Sona is taken off the board. Clearly doesn't want to get a nice wombo combo set up for their team. They're really worried that perhaps a lot of burst
I
damage to
recommend
their team on
skipping.
that side, but it looks like supports have been taken off the board. Karma is still remaining on the field here, but it looks like Emma Same decides to take the 80 carry Ash, as would be the correct decision here to get rid of multiple of enemies. Right now, Black Tornado seems to be sitting on Sever. Really classic, high speed 80 carry that really is very good on engages. Black Tornado says, I'm going to take this. I'm ready to take on Emma Same with Sivir. Jarl King, I've seen only one performance out of him so far. He did a pretty decent job in the supporting position the last time I saw it. Do suspect extra some extra spiciness, as my good old friend Crazy Chris has said, out of him. So let's see what he takes. He decides to take the Braum out of the hands of Barbie Naughty, but Barbie usually takes a Nami in this regard. Perhaps we might see Nami as well here. And it looks like Tarek is the one currently on hold right now. Would be very nice for the Wukong combination. And yes, that's exactly what they think they got in a setup here. The Wukong engaged with the ultimate by Tarek sounds like exactly what can be going really, really well for a combination of engages, plays, and making of situations to happen. So this being said here, very impressive performance um, coming out of actually not a very impressive performance. I haven't even did anything yet. What am I talking about? Could be a very impressive performance from both teams, to be fair. We'll expect a wombo combo setup because clearly they've got themselves a all-in engage to just get a huge distraction for Emma Same, who is pretty solid at the 80 carry position. However, they've got themselves a strong engage and disengage at any moment, as well as really strong poke against Polarity's team, and Polarity at the same time has equal amount of engage and disengage almost on a fly thanks to Sivir as well as Gragas and everybody else. Will definitely suspect some pretty great, a lot of things in fact, pretty great, a lot of things. So, to be honest, right now Sakaria seems like the kind of individual that seems to be on the hot spot right now due to the circumstances that happened with game one. His physical damage champions have been taken away from him so far, as Yasuo has been scouted and taken away. But as I mentioned before, he's on the hot seat. I believe he might be one of the big playmakers here for Fiora combination of some Fiora damage. Another hot player coming into this one ought to be Black Tornado here. He's going to be one of the key forces of this team, not only being the captain, but being a very important AD carry for their team here. A lot of concentration from Polarity as they managed to get themselves a win earlier in the week, but this is definitely going to be a tough one for them to come across. As for Ænima United, I believe Ænima, thanks to Ryan Nuker and the new guys from Sunday, I believe won their game for the first time and came out now in 7th place as they're now fighting to make a playoff opportunity here. By the way, a playoff opportunity currently is out of the 8 teams, 6 teams will be the one to make it here. So Ænima United really needs this win to start really getting a good shot, if not a chance, to get themselves into the playoff berth while lowering other opportunities. In this current time frame right now, Polarity is currently fighting for the 3rd place spot here, and with the double win in this game, could get them higher up into the standings that could possibly put them in a much more effective position. But it all comes down to who's going to be able to best whom in the end of the situation. Anyway, speaking of that, at this current time here, it will 100% be decided on the victor of this matchup, because I wasn't exactly expecting a lot of company here. This is almost an impromptu creation, so most likely probably will be maybe 1, maybe 2 people. Who knows who's going to be able to show up for this Polarity and Ænima United matchup. All eyes are now on Ænima United. They need to make a miracle happen in this game. They need to get themselves a couple of really good wins, a couple of really strong points, get themselves right back into these standings, really fight their way back into this, and let's hope they have what it takes to come out and be in the champion in a playoff opportunity. But don't forget, folks, there's still a long week to go. There's still many other games left to be played, including some extra continuations here. So most definitely, things are not going to be easy for anybody. It's going to be a lot of hard work, determination, as well as great planning that'll come down to the victory here for both teams. Both sides will not give an inch, and I wouldn't expect even the slightest give on anybody's side. Let's hope for the best for everyone's sake. Eyes are now on the mid lane here. Springfield is going to be the captain of the team and trying to hold Sicarius' chances of coming out on top. Galio is not only one of the easiest champions to farm with, but he's also an extremely strong counter to Sicarius' Orianna. I would even say that they basically wanted Sicarius to play a champion into this circumstances. Perhaps they want to force Sicarius to play poorly into this type of matchup here, while forcing Galio to play as the mid laner, a strong, able to be participant in not only top and into the bot lane position, while keeping himself really well farmed into this matchup. I suspect that's exactly what they wanted to try to force Sicarius to do. Right now, Sicarius wants to take a very late game environment, high burst damager. Let's hope Sicarius' farm can go really well, because I believe he definitely has what it takes to handle this circumstance. Apollo right now also, I believe, might have a slight advantage against Rhynuker. I have not exactly seen enough of Rhynuker to just justify this response, but we'll definitely see if there's going to be a caster's curse after all. Who knows who's got the upper hand, to be truthful. At this current stage of time here, it looks like we got ourselves some beginning stage phases of combat. Most definitely not going to be shocked at all to see Ænima United trying to make some big plays early. When you got Lee Sin, how could you possibly not try to do something sneaky on one of these engages? Not to mention, Rhynuker is a very, very good top laning opportunist to make a play. You can always bluff your top laner into thinking you're engaging just by simply standing still. You can create the illusion that you're going to go in on circumstances. Even use your clone to negate some quick damage that could be done by your enemy. That's one of the benefits and one of the bonuses of having a Wukong into the matchup, which is why most of the time people usually take that kind of kit into the jungle. What a strong way to take advantage of some quick engages by using complete invisibility that you can't even use a control ward against to really abuse people's confusion. No way to be able to see where the enemy is or isn't if they're not moving. Hope Rhynuker knows how to play Wukong into a Fiora, because Fiora is still one of the type of top laners that is extremely good at picking apart enemy top laners. So good luck to Rhynuker. I think he might have something special for that top lane when Fearless comes up there. Little bit of shame, really, that Ares is not here, because I think we found one of his brothers over there. Because look at this, Ares Fearless. That just sounds pretty cool, but I want my brother to be called Fearless. That just sounds great. I don't think they have any relation, though, to be fair. Kind of a bummer, but it is what it is. A little bit of trade-off here. Springfield clearly able to aim accurately on those Qs, forcing Sicarius to take a lot of trade back thanks to the massive damage Springfield is able to do. Not surprising at all in this circumstance to try to force the mid lane to be a bit of a struggle early for Sicarius. Jarl is trying to get some extra poking damage here. Rhinuker is going to go some quick trades onto Apollo. Nothing big yet. I think Apollo's passive might work. Oh, it looks like Vastox goes in for a quick engage. Some extra slow here. It's a lot of damage. It's not enough. They don't want to commit any extra resources to try to take out Springfield. Very shocking. That's actually really surprising. I thought they would commit a lot of resources to try to win that early, but I guess not. So Barbie Naughty not only taking Tarek for the first time in the competitive series. I think this is the first time I've ever seen Barbie actually play a Tarek before. I don't think I've ever seen it. Maybe I might need to play a couple games with her. Looks like Springfield really got Sicarius in the right spot here. Here comes Lee Sin. The auto attacks are through. Sicarius tries to get the last auto attack, but it is not enough. Right now, it looks like Lee Sin's gank was well timed and well placed for Springfield. Very effective gank. Good coordination there to make that happen. Right now, Rhinuker just needs one proc. He does not get the cooldown in time. Right now, Apollo quickly jumps using the flash to get the damage he needs to finish off the Wukong. Very effective. It appears to be a very effective flash as he got the job done to get Wukong into a bad spot. So, good job by Apollo to make that kill happen. I think, if I remember correctly, Apollo does happen to way to... Oh, looks like some extra stun damage has come through. Black Tornado is going to get jumped in the back by Lee Sin. Lee Sin tries to hit the Q. It misses by the slimmest margin. The Q goes wide as well, and Sivir barely lives. Great dodge by Sivir at the last possible second. So close by Lee Sin. Really close. Just seemed to just go swing a little wide. Almost had it. Really nice dodge by Sivir. We go into a little bit more of the continued same situation here, but Sicarius is farming really well. This is not something Springfield needs to have happen in that lane right now, but Sicarius is really making it sure he's getting something for every single one of these fights. The auto attacks are coming through, and Springfield is taking some good autos at the moment, but he does still have the technical upper hand here. Even though the Doran's Ring's passives no longer give extra mana when killing a unit, he still likes the other abilities that go along with that kind of thing. Barbie fires the E on the stun, misses only by a small margin thanks to Gragas's immediate jump to avoid it. Right now, Vastox is a little on the low side in the red, but does clear enough of the... Yes, does manage to take it. No accidents here, not yet. A little bit more of the same into the bot lane here. It looks like Ashe appears to be going for the damage item to do extra health-based damage. Wants to do it that way, even though I think not enough players are really health-based. I mean, I guess Braum is a health-based champion, so I guess that's one of the things where that could be effective. But I feel that perhaps an Infinity Edge would work pretty well as well in this environment, considering they're not all going to be health-based, unless Apollo might have some other plan for us. Regardless to what I think, Ænima really wants to have the extra lifesteal with the Blade of the Ruined King, including the extra damage from auto attacks. Springfield's wave clear makes this very easy for some easy and quick pushes, so good job out of him. Very good. Oh, interesting. It looks like that does do exactly what I think it does. It looks like the clone even does get its own pulse. That's actually going to make this a little bit interesting for Apollo's engages. Rhinuker is sitting under tower, being a little bit, having a little bit of a difficult situation here, but because it's under wave, it is going to be a little easy for him to catch back up and farm. Apollo does not want Wukong to get a good farm amount, but it looks like the farming from everybody's side is going quite easily in everyone's favor. Rhynuker is going to go into a fight between the two of them. Rhynuker with the last auto attack. Apollo! Oh boy, Apollo wishes he could get the second chance at that. He just moved a little too much into trying to get that, trying to get his passive to work, that he just couldn't get the auto he was looking for. Oh boy, I bet he wishes he had a second chance at that. That was so close. Very good effort, by the way, by Apollo. Just Wukong had the auto attack just in between. Very close. Seems to be a pretty stable farming game so far here. Lee Sin's ganks and attempts have been pretty successful so far. Vastox does not seem to be getting the ganks he wants yet. Probably going to wait until he feels pretty comfortable on a bot lane and maybe try to force a misposition here. That's the one thing that's really good about having a Gragas on your team. Ooh, what a good amount of returning burst damage here. Apollo does not like it, retaliates accordingly, and that will be a half-half on both sides on the equal trade between the two of them. Neither side wants it. That's one of the things that makes this very exciting. Both sides are able to really hurt the other very quickly and very effectively. Right now, good old Apollo's got his ultimate back, but Wukong does not have his yet. Apollo will be doing some extra trades here. Some taunt goes off. Sicarius takes a massive amount of damage. Sicarius is on the run. Springfield just needs one more hit. He goes for the empowered shot. Does do the damage necessary. Apollo does manage to get the kill on the trade back at the top side. But Wukong does one as well. And it will be Lee Sin for the secure on the Infernal Drake. That's going to go really well for their wombo combo. I'm glad I got some people in the audience right now, in the zone. Glad to see that you're in the audience for me, man. I'm gonna need you to give me some of your energy so I can get myself not only through this game, but also through the next 2 games after that. Sad, though, I don't have a second screen here. I should have probably grabbed my laptop. I think I'll do that for game 2. So I'm just going to need you to keep the chat room pretty filled up with some very interesting intake on their very interesting perspectives here. Because I'm all by myself here, and I'm hoping for some miracles. Looks like Apollo and Wukong are really hitting each other for some good damage, but neither one is getting the one that they're engages that they're looking for here. Wukong is getting some good trade right now, due to this Phage able to hit quickly and return and pull out fast. That's kind of the Wukong style, really. Right now, Rhynuker is possibly baiting the situation here. He gets slowed. It's going to be a little bit of a mispositioning. He uses the ultimate to force the fight away from Fiora. Back to neutral lanes for everybody here. Decides to use the parry, does not get the he doesn't get the Q he was looking for here on the return. I think Paul's making a good move here, just going for quick pokes, trying to make Wukong to play on a little bit off. Though so far Sicarius' farm has drastically improved since the last time he was up against a counter. Oh my goodness, the gap close! Everybody instantly jumps onto Gragas. It just takes him out quickly. Sicarius is on the run. Fearless chases him under tower. Wow. That's only things expected to come here. It looks like Sicarius is going to do some extra damage here. The smite does come back. It's enough auto attack. Sicarius takes out Lee Sin with the burst damage from the Thunderlord proc. My goodness. Oh, Fearless was not expecting that much damage. Orianna really needed that kill as well. That brings the money difference slowly closer together in the way that both parties really want it. Reinuker seems to be backing already in the current situation he's got right now. He's not exactly far ahead of his opponent. In fact, he's just a well, actually one kill behind the Fiora, thanks to the farming impressiveness out of Dark Apollo, who's concentrating on poking and getting some good autos in. That's one of the benefits of having a Tiamat. They really make this a lot easier for you to get a lot of big plays. Reinuker here is still waiting for his opportunities. That's one of the things that Wukong really is very good at, as I mentioned earlier. As I was trying to mention, I think, earlier. Equal farming between both sides here. I do not think Springfield wanted it to be this way, but then again, Sicarius must have practiced a lot with Orianna since the last time he had that matchup. Gets the Q to come off, and it looks like Galio will have an infinite supply of mana for a brief period of time. Infinite is brief. Ooh, ult does hit! That could be a kill! It will be a kill! What an impressive play! Oh my goodness! What? He just... No way! There's absolutely no way that just happened! Ashe fires an ultimate onto Krakus, who had no health left. Takes the kill at the red buff. What an awesome play. Ult to kick Sicarius into a very bad spot, and bot lane already begins the group mid. They're going to go for that tower right off the bat. What an amazing maneuver by Ænima Same. Oh my goodness. I've never seen an Ashe do that. That armor looks amazing on Ænima. What an impressive maneuver. That's what you get for having very impressive deep warding coverage. That ward was just absolutely amazing by Ashe. Some extra poke. It looks like Reinuker did not get the Q he wanted. Apollo does not get the one. He does not get the engage, since it looks like Springfield came to the rescue here, preventing that play. What an awesome giant by Ænima United. Really impressive performance here. I was not expecting such a sabotage on Vastox. Vastox is a pretty solid jungler as well, so it's really like, that was out of nowhere. I would never have expected that. I personally would be upset about it. I've never been attacked in my own jungle quite that early. Not from an Ashe arrow. That tilts me. But I know Vastox is a more iron-willed individual. That's not going to bother him nearly as much. Right now, the next Drake appears to be coming in the next 3 seconds here. Something that they want to have in their hands here. It appears to be an Ocean Drake. Would be very good for Polarity side, because the Polarity does have a lot of mana usage and solid poking. It looks like we're going to have another scrimmage between these two. Neither side wants to give an inch. It looks like Apollo's got the upper hand here. Reinuker is going to try to get away, and does do so, as Apollo is healthy enough and tanky enough to survive that kind of onslaught. Apollo appears to be going for the Ravenous Hydra. I'm gonna have to take a look at what you have to say about that. In the zone, I'm gonna need to know, because definitely something that is kind of interesting. I usually do not see that kind of thing come up often. It looks like during the chaos, the Rift Herald is going to be summoned in here real quick. It is going to be pushing up, but it looks like some extra damage coming in, and the ult goes off. Both ults go off, and it looks like Ashe fires wide on that one. Unfortunate. Right now, Black Tornado is going to manage to get a kill on the Ashe on the trade back. Barbie is still alive and still trying to kick around here, as it looks like the mid laner needs to back off. The stuns go off, but they're not exactly on target. Hard to hit those target stuns, but they both managed to get out of there safely. It's a good 1-for-2 trade here into the favor of Ænima United. Really good job. Let me go ahead and make sure I got the thing in the correct order here. Yes, good. Very nice job. right now it looks like the upper hand is in Ænima United here. I've never seen such a well-crafted combination of plays. It's going to be exciting to see what kind of late game setup that both parties are going to have in store for this. Barbie's right now seems to be taking some autos. Nothing too severe yet. But by the way, Barbie's does have his support item completed, so he now gets a free barrier. Love those kind of things. Auto attacks are going off here. Needs one more for the proc. Doesn't get it. Vastox is right on the position here. Slows are starting to go off here. Ocean Drake is still on the playing field. It's going to be resetted. The smite ends up going wide, and it's going to be Fearless to secure it. Extra damage. Sicarius is on the run. It's going to be a burst damage by Rhinoker, who takes out 2 others on top of that. And that will be a 4-for-0 trade into the hands of Ænima United as they get not only the Drake, but 4 kills after the fact. Very great job out of Ænima United and their concentration efforts. They're definitely massively improving their early game, and they're hitting some really great skill shots so far. They seem to be shoving up into the bot lane here as they are moving in to try to get this tower. This might be another tower here, as it looks like Polarity is moving their way back in. You can see Vastox here on the hurry here, but it's already too late. At the current time, Ænima United seems to have got that rotation effectively planted. Nice job out of their part. They definitely are much more improving than they did last time. With a red buff take, they are not only taking jungles on their retreat, but doing a very good job of clearing those jungles camps as well. Really smart game playing out of Ænima United. Very good to try to take away the chances of the enemy team coming back. Very good, I would say. They got a lot out of that 2-minute situation. They got themselves 4 kills, a Drake, 2 towers, actually 1 tower technically, but 3 in such a short period of time is extremely valuable. And they did a really good job with that. Very good job out of Ænima United. Let's see what they've got for the late game, because so far, their early game seems to be going exactly in their favor. Good rotate. I gotta admit, some good, quick, clean grabs out of everybody right now. It looks like Rhinoker is gonna get some good autos in. Apollo does manage to get the proc he's looking for here. And they take out a control ward here. They, Polarity seems to be sending the bot lane to top, seemingly going for the LCS style strategy. I do think it's been a very commonplace one for every team so far. It looks like Lee Sin is beginning to move towards the bot lane here. It's going to be a setup here that it looks like Rhinoker hasn't gotten in a while. Some extra auto attacks have gone off. Apollo retaliates with extra slows, but neither party is able to get any extra slow that they need. Apollo does not like being chased down. He tells Lee Sin, back off of me, and uses his ultimate to get Lee Sin to retreat. So right now, the lane at bot side still shoving in. Wukong is going to be backing along with Apollo. King moving up. It looks like Naughty has mispositioned ever so slightly. Barbie needs to get out of there. She needs to not go down here. Unfortunate. But Sicarius is going to confirm that. With no tower in position, Ænima Same is going to go down as well, thanks to the solid CC effort by Polarity. They don't want to give up this game quite yet. Looks like there's going to be a pause coming in. Rhinoker probably just disconnected. We did see that happen earlier. So while that is happening, I should probably take advantage of the circumstances and get myself a way to see the chat lobby while I am currently here. So far, you're watching Ænima United and Polarity go up against each other for the first time, and Ænima United currently has a slight, actually a pretty sizable upper hand with a 5,000 gold lead. Let's take a look at who's ahead of whom as well. Right now, Fiora is currently still ahead of Wukong despite the kill advantage. Fiora is farming extremely well, getting a 50 CS lead. Really good job out of Apollo, getting the upper hand against Rhinoker. Currently in the jungle, we're having a bit of a different story here with a 2,000 gold lead. Lee Sin's ganking has been on point, accurate, and lots and lots of money. It's always good to have lots of money. Speaking of lots of money, Galio is also up ahead as well, thanks to his assisting actions, thanks to his CC, and his kill participation so far seems to be on point, with currently, I think, the highest one out of everybody. At a total of 8 kills out of the 13 that have happened, he's been a part of. Sever in the current situation is right now having a bit of a tough time in the farming department, but did get a really good play, and now they're at top side right now. It looks like they might be able to take a tower down with without any players at the current time. We get ourselves unpaused here. Reinuker's back in it, has very little health. Apollo does not have a ward, so does not see Wukong being AFK at that position. So Wukong lost a ton of health there, needs to back right off the bat and not be caught by Fiora, as because of that health being lost, it's going to now go, a TP appears to be going off right now. Springfield is going to get in a fight with Apollo as he's attempting to defend the tower with all of his might. Some CC is going off here. Wukong on the reinforcements, flash, ults, and does manage to take down Apollo, and that's going to be a tower grab. Great awareness, I gotta admit, from Reinuker. I thought he was going to back for sure. Speaking of backing, it looks like Vastox is coming around to get some extra damage. Reinuker with the bluff does fake him out. He misses the barrel on that one. Really smart maneuver by Wukong using the stop and go here to dodge the situation at hand. Great fake. One of the things that I haven't seen Wukong in a while do. One of the things that we gotta be fair about is Wukong is very good at tricking people. It's part of his character, part of the lore, and that's the one thing that's really fun about playing his kit. He just deceives people. He tells people one thing, and then he does another thing. And it's pretty fun to watch, I gotta be honest. Man, the bummer thing is I didn't manage to get to go back to get that extra screen here, so I still can't see the chat room. Kind of a shame, really. I really wanted to have a talk with in the zone, who's a very fun guy to talk with. He's got a lot of ideas and he's very fun. He's a very smart guy, I'd say. Very smart. Right now, the next Drake is coming up in the 30-second mark. Both teams appear to be preemptively ready for this situation here, as Reinuker is defending the top tower. Apollo needs, I would say, has to stay healthy here. Doesn't want to give away extra health before the Drake situation comes about, but needs to lower Reinuker's health, and does do so. Both teams are waiting for the other to just step far enough away to get the right spot. It looks like Vastox is going to go in, and Springfield's going to make the catch here, and down goes their jungler. This could be a free couple of plays here. The stun lands the target here. Joe King with the solid heal. The ult used to get out of that situation. Very well coordinated escape. That could have been Black Tornado's death, as well as possibly a quadra kill if coordinated. If the situation was going a little bit differently. Barbie Tariq honestly is very good so far. Right now, it's going to be another Drake take as the next Ocean falls into the hands of the team of Ænima United. That's really good for them. Sicarius managed to farm pretty well, but the combination wombo combo CC is so difficult to manage, so Sicarius is having a difficult time making some good plays happen so far. Vastox, having seen now the Wukong, his own main Wukong, taken away from him, is kind of lamenting it ever so slightly, because I bet he'd love to play Wukong in this situation. Fearless is going to be chased down by a very hungry Apollo, but Apollo is not getting the kill that he's been looking for right now. Extra heal back as Barbie makes sure that Lee Sin does not go anywhere close to the ground. They're sitting at Baron side, both of them. And I gotta be honest, it seems like a pretty early time for that, to be fair. I think a 1-3-1 strategy might even be good, because the only one that you have to worry about right now is Apollo. If anybody else plays any differently, you can just make a play and an engage happen. Because I think would be strong is Wukong and Lee Sin, because all you have to do is send those guys mid with Ashe, and you got yourself a free kill, I'd say. Oh wait, never mind, we have a Taric. What am I talking about? Taric, Ashe, and Gragas should be mid with Wukong top and Lee Sin bot. I think should be the best 1-3-1 combo here. Would be a pretty solid one, because the only thing you gotta worry about is Apollo, and I feel like Wukong can get away from Apollo. Right now, Apollo trying to get that health proc, does not seem to be able to hit it. Finally gets the one he wants. In come the ultimate. It looks like Wukong does manage to get the excess amount of damage, but Orianna does get the burst on the trade out here. Ashe is on the bot side. This could be a Baron grab right after this one, as Apollo is losing a lot of health. Does sustain his way through it. No, he doesn't. Springfield with the kill at the last second. Sivir is at the bot side. There's no way they can do Baron now. They've got a bag to deal with this bot lane. Right now, their split pushing seems to be working in their favor. Lee Sin's got a tower at the mid side, while the bot lane is doing some massive damage to that tower. Barbie is tanking it now. Sivir is trying to get him off the tower. The W procs are going off here. It's a lot of damage. It's not going to be enough. Lee Sin is going to take a few steps back to avoid the Orianna situation, as the bot lane is on the run. Bastalk's trying to make the catch, looks like. Get slowed, and I think that's where the chase will end here. The bot lane gets some massive amount of damage, as they get themselves some good tower damage so far. I believe Fearless could have probably got a little bit more, but he decides to take the safe route. Good call. Very good call. Very safe call. You know me, I'm not much of a safe guy, but, you know, sometimes safe call is a good option. You know, it can help you win games if you take safe. So far, the bot tower and the top tower about one hit away from each other. Will Wukong get there first? It looks like he will get there first, unless Fiora can clear really quickly. Both have great clear, but I think Fiora's might be just a little bit better here. It's going to be one auto, all it takes. Apollo wants to be the first one to take it, decides to take the tower to make it happen. Rynuker will end up taking the tower at the top side shortly after. A little bit of a race, but it does go into the favor of Apollo, who barely beats him. One of the best things about Sivir, she gets a crit when he uses the W proc. That is so good in the late game environment. That's where it's really devastating. Rynuker and Lee Sin are messing with that Apollo character. Some extra damage. Oh no! Oh no! I think he misread how that works. That invisibility doesn't block true sight from the tower. Wukong ends up going down there. Oh, the stun barely misses. Sakari makes the kill onto the AD carry. Sivir auto-attacking a now invulnerable target. Doesn't seem to matter, as the auto-attacks still fly. It's going to be a lot of damage. Jarl King is trying to chase down Springfield. This could be a Baron call. They both realize this. And Barbie gets the heal off. It's going to be a little bit of extra chasing here. Barbie needs to get some way to help out. The ally can't make it happen. Barbie's goes down along with it. The cooldown was just not there. It's so unfortunate for Barbie. She really wanted to help, but there was just absolutely nothing she could do to help out the ally. Right now, Baron is the best call in this situation here, with only one possible target to take this, Lee Sin. Apollo does decide to take out the plant to prevent Lee Sin's retreat strategy, or engage strategy, as I should say. Right now, Ares needs to make a very desperate move. Bastalk is really low, very low. Oh my goodness, the mid laner ends up catching the Q! Wukong on the follow-up. Ares is still here. The Baron is still a possible target. It's not going to be low enough, however. It's slowly recovering health as the fight continues. Wukong gets the triple kill! Whoo! What an intense little matchup there. Rynuker. I lost control of my screen for a second there. Rynuker with the kill there. That was... Whoo. Nice triple kill by Ryanuker. Well coordinated. Unfortunately, Sicarius ended up being the one to catch the bullet. Vastox needed to stay alive, so both of them really low health targets. The gamble backfires against them because they end up losing quite a few members for no Baron and end up getting a 2-for-1 trade out of the situation. Unfortunate, but they just did not get what they wanted. I think some mispositioning here from some of the players, but it is what it is. The true damage does end up melting that tower, and it goes down, as now all the outward towers of the base from Polarity are all taken down, and the only one remaining are the inhib towers. Cloud Drake is always a solid one to have, and it looks like it'll go right into the hands of good old Ænima United, who really loves having these Drakes. Right now, I believe the last Drake should be, yes, it is going to be Elder, as we can see right there. Let's find out what the rest of the team's actions are, as it looks like Vastox is taking out some warding. Ashe is beginning to take a massive step back. Really smart call, because it's quite obvious that Fiora was going to really punish that Ashe if she stood any longer. The control ward currently inside of the Baron pit here. Tarek's going to go around here to take care of that one. Seems like some morality seems to be reshifting here, as it looks like United is not getting the kind of engage they're looking for. They got a lot of towers. They're really far out ahead. They've got the mid towers still standing. All mid towers are still standing, but they're waiting for the time that they want to set up that wombo combo. They just don't have that time yet. It should be coming in a few minutes, I bet. They're just kind of waiting for that opportunity. It's going to happen. We just got to wait for it. Their wombo combo is really powerful. It's very devastating. Ryanuker's going to do a lot of damage. I would have expected Ryanuker to actually go for some true damage, you know? I would have expected him to go with the Dusk Blade, even. The Dusk Blade would be pretty strong on Wukong. I have used it before, but I guess he wants to have the extra armor penetration. Not a bad option. I think the Dusk Blade is a more assassin type of build, but it looks like Wukong's gonna come in here. It looks like this is the time to fight. It might have been a little bit of a little overexcitement here from their team. They thought they had the better spot here. That team is on a huge retreat. Thanks to the power of Sivir, they all get out of there super quick. No time to get the wombo combo set up. Ænima United might have jumped the gun just a little bit there. They definitely wanted the play. It just was a little too soon to try to commit all that resources to it. Ooh, powerful. Massive amounts of damage to Sicarius. But we know Sicarius can definitely return the favor. Let's see what Polarity is going to do to get some extra burst. Wukong gets some good damage here. It looks like Apollo does not want to mess around here. He knows his damage is really lethal. He goes for it, and he does get the final proc. Wukong goes down. Apollo's damage is clearly cutting through like it's butter. He's not even going for auto attacks anymore. He's just going for vital strikes. Springfield lost massive amount of health thanks to the true damage. Apollo is going to end up going down, however, due to the greediness of the situation. The mid lane is going to siege inside. Barbie has nowhere left to go. The damage proc finally comes through, and it'll end up being Polarity with the couple of wins here. That's exactly what needed to have happen. Great job by forcing the play to happen by Apollo, really forcing a lot of attention to happen at top side, forcing it to be a 3v1. Good catch as well by Vastox to make that play happen. Ends up becoming a couple of tower takes. really great job, and Springfield desperately tries to get him off, but there's just no way. Looks like Reinuker decides to use a TP for a sabotage. All goes off. Reinuker ends up getting tossed about here, and will end up being a TP down for Reinuker. I've seen that happen a lot in the Bronze, Silver, and Gold series. I haven't seen it very successful. I believe the only one that was managed to be successful, I believe, was Decimate Legacy. I think they're the only one that has ever made that successful. Or that or Guardian Gaming. One of them have managed to make a TP from behind the enemy successful. Everyone else has tried it, and it has not been successful. So it's not. Seems like a statistical mishap if I would want to attack it at a more honest approach. Nothing wrong with giving Oriana a blue buff. Sicarius getting fed is never a bad option. Can he take out two wards there? Yes, he will barely get it, but does get both. So far, the highest ward interception was 3. I saw 3 on the lens. Some extra engage here. Apollo was mispositioned, but does not seem to want to get himself caught. Bolts out of there thanks to Fiora's incredibly high movement speed. It looks like attempt number 2 at Baron has just begun here. That Baron is going down real quick. Already at 4,000. 3,000 gone. 2,000. Wukong finally gets there in time. But can he prevent the Baron from falling into their hands? Yes. They do so. Vanastox confirms it. They bail right out of there. Great ultimate and disengage. All of that, and they got so close. But this time, it's going to be Polarity that gets out of the situation healthy. Oh no, Reinuker! Oh no! The back by Sicarius manages to get there just before Wukong could get in time. So close, but so far. Didn't have any wards, didn't have a way to just notice it beforehand. So unlucky. So unlucky. I would hate that kind of thing. They're now positioning at the Elder Drake, both sides here. Neither side seems to want to set up a play. They just want to catch the other out here. Vanastox gets some good damage. No confirmation on the overwhelming amount yet. But it is what it is. Each side positioning, waiting for a misplay by one or the other. Speaking of that, looks like Sicarius immediately starts off with his first mispositioning here, as it looks like he gets taken out of the board and goes with a 666 record board right now. The number of the beast! Anyway, Apollo right now seems to be the next one on the cutout block. Barely avoids the stun by Barbie. So close. Could have been a big play. Could have been a big catch. Wukong heading top side to clear that top wave. Rather massive. Very good for Wukong. Wukong does not have TP here, doesn't have a way to get into this fight if it does break out. So both parties seem to be really just trying to reshove back in the lane in a way that does not tip the other to go off to the off lane. Right now, Springfield getting some extra damage proccing onto the enemy here. He's just waiting, watching for a play to happen. You know, you don't see it ever or often enough, but tanks in the mid lanes, all thanks to the new and improved Galio. Good news. Reinuker seems to be knowing exactly where Apollo's heading, as he seems to be heading back to mid lane. waiting and watching. 40 minutes just now come about here as Ænima United has lost their statistical lead against Polarity, as Polarity's combinations of CC and damage has been coming through here, and Sicarius being where he is right now is a big reason for that. Apollo is trying to get out of there. He doesn't want to get caught. The spell has been canceled out, but CC is still able to get through. No problem for Ash. And at the same time, it looks like they're going to head all the way to the Elder Drake. Fearless is the only one to be able to prevent this from going into their hands. He's not in the right position, however, I fear. He needs to be in the better spot here. He does get the smite on time. Bastok misses it. That's going to go be an Elder Drake for their favor, and it looks like a fight's about to break out because of that. Their engage is so quick. Polarity had absolutely no idea that they would be here in time. Some good damage is starting to come through. The spell shield can only block so much, and it's an ace against Polarity, and one for the united group of Ænima. Rhinoker immediately uses the TP to get himself into position here. Fiora will be the only one coming up. Can they win the game? They have a big wave. They have enough damage. They have only one champion to worry about here. Ænima United is going for the win. They're going to go for the Nexus Towers. Fiora will be coming up in 2 seconds. The only one to stop this. What an impressive turnabout here. Fiora throws herself into the middle of the fray. Tries to prevent Ash from being alive in this fight. It's going to be so much damage to deal with. There's not enough time. And it'll be Ænima United coming out on top, winning the game after the very impressive steal by Lee Sin. 1-0 in the favor of Ænima United. What a drastic improvement. What a absolutely drastic improvement since the last time that I've seen them play. Really great job, great CC combinations, really good concentration, fast engages, fast maneuvers, really on point CC. Very good job out of both teams. They both fired really nice CCs, and they both had really good planning. It's only mishaps that ended up being the downfall for the crew of Polarity. They were just 1 or 2 steps away from getting a big play and coming out on top. Their team comp seemed to be the one with the upper hand almost at all times. Apollo did an impressive performance. In the end, it is United's success that managed to make things go well. They had fast engages, fast plays, and a quick win to go with it. Right now, the damage done here, the highest one was from Fiora. Very impressive performance, I have to say. Split pushing went well. Damage really did a nice job. Got ambushed a few times. They got what they wanted from Fiora. Damage and everything, but their engage and movement speed were so quick thanks to all the Drakes, thanks to everything they had. All their ability and health were always high, so it was really difficult to get anything to go their way. In the end, it ends up going into the hands of United, and the ward coverage very on point, I have to say. Very good out of each party here. My only complaint, of course, because I'm a stickler for warding, is Ash's warding is the weakest out of everybody, and so was Gragas's on the opposite side here. A little bit of a little bit of misfortune, but it is what it is. Now let's go ahead and talk about the MVP for Game 1 here. Really impressive job out of everybody, but we got to pick ourselves an MVP. Now let's be fair here. Springfield did do an insanely great job. He had great CC. He was a huge tank for the team. Got very fed, did a really nice job, great peel, everything that Ænima ever needed. And Tarek really also did his part extremely well too. But there's no way I can take this away from Ares Fearless. That was the smite that defined the game. The smite that defined the game was the last one, and that what literally brought this game to a close. That smite changed the entire game. That could have been another 10 minutes, it could have been another 5 minutes, it could have ended earlier, but that can, even one smite can define an entire game, and Ares did an incredible job of it. He will get the MVP because of that. Really nice job for Game 1. The smites can define the games, And he absolutely did manage to get it. So, let's get ourselves prepared for game 2 here, as my solo man of doing all the work by myself might come to a close here, depending if anyone else wants to come in to tag along with me. Give me a little bit of a message here. I am Army Overlord, and I'm currently by myself here. I'm glad I managed to get a good 20 people into this lobby. People watching now. Quite happy about that. But you know, doing it all by yourself and being a play-by-play guy that I am really takes it out of you quickly. So, let me know if anybody wants to tag in to play. I just got some news here real quick that some of my dinner is ready. Can't wait to start chowing down on some food here. Let's go ahead and see if my other casting friend can. Ah, here we go. Looks like I got myself my good old friend Fridge, who is ready to help me out here. Dark Apollo, thank you very much for the friend request, man. I hope you also subscribe to, sorry, not subscribe. I hope you also follow the Duo Esports Lobby. You will love to see a little bit more of my action and everything else. And I hope we can get ourselves set up for the next one soon. But before that happens, I've got to get myself some of my own dinner. I'm quite hungry. I'm going to need as much help as I can to get some casting assistance. And Fridge, what a Superman, going to come in and help me out. For now, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys can enjoy some good music as well as some pretty nice songs for the time being. I do hope it's not going to be, hope it's going to be to everyone's liking. Let me see what I can get us in here for. Maybe get us some good music for now. I don't know. I can't exactly seem to get the kind of one I'm looking for as of right now. Let's see what else we can get. Maybe we should get some other type of music. Tough call, tough call. Maybe I should look into the audience to see if they got some music for me. Army Overlord looking for others who like long walks on the beaches. More like looking for others who also like to talk a lot too. That's my cup of tea. People who can talk. A little bit of this guy, a little bit of that guy. Let's get these captains in here. But we'll be taking a break because I need to get me some equipment changes, some minor situations. So for right now, let's listen to some pretty alright music. Hope you guys like this music. It's gonna be some pretty alright stuff for now. Starman just gave me a link actually. Hold on, maybe I might have to swap it out for this one.
I was thinking that maybe when you get back,
I will be back soon. Don't worry, man. I'll be back. You wait. I'll be right back. Won't be a long wait, I promise.
Jump with me. Jump with me. I've been feeling it buzzing in my fingertips. Wanna try you out. Get lost, get far away, and do what we wanna do now. Jump with me. Jump with me.
Oh no, the music ended. I knew it should have had autoplay on. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like I'm finally back. I hope it wasn't too long of a wait. I just had to get myself some dinner prepared and ready. I hope nobody's too mad at me about that. Okay. Let's go ahead and tag myself out so Barbie can get herself into a nice spot. But before that happens, I believe I've got some cavalry to bring in. It looks like Fridge is from Guardian Gaming. He wants to come in and tag in and help me out here. I already see him in the lobby. Let's go ahead and bring him right in here, shall we? Hey, Fridge!
Hey, Army, how you doing?
Great, 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 great stuff. Absolutely great stuff.
Glad to hear that. Sorry I couldn't join you for game one there, but it's definitely a back and forth game the way it looked, and
Oh, absolutely. The game was so close. It was decided by a single smite by Lee Sin. Really close game.
yeah, I did catch the very end of that. That was a really nice smite steal from him. I definitely would say that earns some props and MVP possibly off of that alone almost.
Yeah, if you decide a game quite as close as that one, you know, that's where you gotta kind of take the draw. Everyone really did a really good job, you know, setting up each other, making some big plays. But the smite, they just kind of stole the game away from their opponent. That's how you can just settle some arguments right there.
Yeah, and I was also impressed. He actually didn't even die for that either. It was actually like the perfect play.
Yeah, just exactly. Great timing. Had the extra movement speed from the allies. Really good gap closing. The enemy team was just like, okay, let's take out Lee Sin real quick. We'll get him out of here. Then we'll run away. We'll get ourselves reestablished. But no, the enemy did not manage to get the kill in the time that they were expecting. And more time was given because of Lee Sin's ability to move around. And that gave just enough time for the closing situation. That just kind of decided the game, and I just had to give it to him after that. So, we got ourselves a new couple of swap-ins, a couple of swap-outs, as some players could not play this game around. Unfortunately, our previous MVP, I think, might have just stepped out. That's going to be a little unfortunate. As Trash has now stepped in, or Trash, I think is how he calls himself. Trash? I'll have to ask him in person for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I just saw his name actually pop up on the free agents list was it yesterday or just a couple days ago? Not long ago, I know that, and got picked up pretty quick, it looks like. So
yeah, he
see
definitely
what he can do.
Must have pretty good credentials if he's gonna be picked up so quickly. So, this being said, let's get ourselves... Thank you for jumping in. I think we should get ourselves pretty much ready to go here while I go ahead and make some statistical changes, since we don't want anybody to complain about the numbers currently. This Ænima United did come out on top here. Let's go ahead and fix everything in the correct order, shall we?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so let's get ourselves right back on track here. Ænima United now on the opposite side, Polarity on the other side. Let's go ahead and see what kind of big game we can get out of this.
I'm hoping for another really close back and forth game like that one. That would be another nail biter, I guess. This is the words I'm looking for, maybe.
Indeed.
Oh.
So, how much of the game did you end up catching, by the way? Just the end half of it?
I was kind of in and out throughout the game, on and off. So I saw it looked like Ænima was building up a pretty nice lead, and then Polarity had a team fight that they ended up taking. And it almost looked like they were going to run away with the game then at that point. And then I disappeared for a little bit and then came back just in time to see the very end there with the Dragon Steel and that last fight.
Mm-hmm. And that's, you know, and to be honest, that's the kind of the key play, really. That kind of really decided everything.
Yeah, definitely glad I didn't miss that one.
All right. The light on.
Most everyone likes to put all those R's.
By the way, I tried to say I'd be there.
I'm on to you.
Sorry, that's the song I'm playing right now.
Fair enough, I do the same thing, but I don't sound as good as you do, so that...
Oh, really? Oh, that's too nice.
I'm about tone deaf. I'm not sure if it's that good of a compliment, to be honest. It's just I'm tone deaf.
No cure
I'm
for
making
fools.
it a compliment. You can't change that.
Alright, that'll work.
Indeed.
We're seeing Twitch and Draven immediately dropped off the board here, and followed up by a Yasuo. Nobody likes Yasuo.
Absolutely not, because Sicarius' first debut game, he completely nearly took over the game with a Yasuo. They just do not want him to play with a strong card. But to be fair, his Orianna also did a really good job that game. In the end, it ended up becoming unfortunate for him because he had a 6-6-6 kill, death, and assist ratio. So praise be to Teemo, that was pretty nice.
Yeah, there's just no winning with a score like that. That's just cursed.
Indeed. That's just currently cursed. We'll see if the curse will be broken, as Rhynuker will be the first one picking now that Lee Sin and Twitch, as well as Draven, Galio, and Ezreal off the board. Jace is the one Rhynuker takes. Pretty common, strong top laner to take. I feel pretty good about this.
Yeah, and you can even flex the Jace pick and throw that into the mid lane too if you decide you want to. So, pretty safe all around pick. And Shen coming in on the other side over here. Polarity hovering it anyways. Oh, switching over to the Braum, which is going to get locked in. Not going to give away too much out of their top or mid lane yet. So the Braum will be pretty good in bot lane. That's okay. Maybe they're just going to pick the Shen up right now. They're hovering it again. Switching over to the Nidalee. A lot of early game pressure from a Nidalee if this does get locked in.
I agree. Nidalee has been a little bit of a hit or miss so far in the Bronze, Silver, Gold competitive series. But that's exactly the type of champion Nidalee really is. A hit or miss type of champion. And if you hit, you really hit. You make a very good meal for Nidalee.
Yeah, I feel like you either go off or you just feed like crazy.
But my goodness, it's a big hit or miss trade. That is so
definitely. I feel like they're just Ænimaa's just messing around with them now, just hovering the Shen because they must think they want it now. I don't know. Maybe there's a little bit of a mind game going on, but looks like they're gonna go back to the Taric.
Indeed, Barbie was doing a solid job with the Taric last time. Wants to replay it, looks like. Although I do suspect Barbie's actually a little bit better with Nami. I'm kind of surprised they want to commit to the Taric again. But it is what it is.
There's a lot of good things that Taric can do, though. You're still going to have the healing. You're going to have the shield. And, yeah, you're also going to have the ultimate, which can just make you invulnerable for a couple seconds there. It's basically an AoE KO ult, which is really, really nice to have in a big team fight.
In the zone, by the way, I got my equipment up so I can finally see the text chat while we're playing. So finally I get to see your very vast wisdom as we go into this game. So extremely happy to see your opinion. You are you are honestly a pretty interesting looking coach. So I can finally trade some words with you. Nice to see you as well. So, this being said, or something. As well as you're not the only company I got this time. This time I got myself a good old fridge.
Yeah.
To store my food, because I was hungry.
That's what I'm best at.
Well, actually, I disagree. What you're best at is being a very good top laner.
Well, I appreciate that.
In fact, I believe you due to Hamcam's rotation to mid lane, I believe you are now in the running for the top spot here. I believe in the top lane situation, you are currently in the running for first place. You are in the top 3, I would say, maybe even 3rd place. I would to be a little bit ungenerous to you.
I think I was in CS. I was fluctuating between 1 and 3. I know I had number 1 for CS per game,
Mm-hmm.
but they switched that to per minute, which I was between 2 and 3 on across the board there. We got Renekton coming out in the top lane. It's a lot of bullying that can happen there, but we're gonna see. Looks like an Akali. Another. You can kind of flex that top. Oh, never mind. They're gonna hover the Aurelion Soul now. Now they're just messing with me.
Yeah, I guess so. They must be fully aware of whatever you say. They seem to want to change it immediately, just so that way you look like you're on the hot seat. I don't know what it is about that, really.
I know. What's up with that? They're gonna actually pick the Ashe again as well, so they liked that Ashe arrow onto the Gragas by the red buff.
And the nice, decent healing and peel that Tara can deliver. They really like it. And they do have a solid engage as well with their ultimate to cancel out any fight. You know, when the fight is forced into a way that they like it, they definitely want Tarek to be there to just make some damage negation. You know, it forces them to run away in fights. I think that's what they like. Cassiopeia with a millisecond take.
Yeah, Cassiopeia is really good in team fights if you can land a good ultimate. And she's also very annoying when I can't remember the name of the ability, her W, you can't flash out of it or use any blinks or anything like that.
Yeah, I think it's miasma, I think is what it is.
I think you're right, actually. That sounds right. It's one of the most obnoxious abilities to go against in the game. Especially when you're just chasing down a kill and you almost have it, you're going to flash onto them and you're like, oh.
Well, that's a lot of dashing that they have on their team. They've got themselves a Jace, a Zac, and an Ahri, 3 dashing champions. So taking a Cassiopeia sounds like a pretty strategic move to probably negate them or try to set up a line so they can't just simply run to the back and grab Varus or Nidalee. You know what I mean? Seems like that's their plan.
Yeah, Cassiopeia will be pretty good for negating some of that, and even potentially just killing off the Ahri outright by the time that ultimate. And on top of that, you're going to have some lockdown from the Varus with his ultimate if he can land it, and the Renekton. And by the time that CC's done, Brahm's going to have 4 stacks onto them. You can really land a lot of CC by the end of all of it in a team fight, but that goes for both sides, so...
Yes, it's definitely going to see it. A lot of I would say the concentration in this game is going to be much, much different. Because I would say the previous time we were looking at Black Tornado and Sakaris being the hot picks here, I think this time we're going to look at their jungler. Trash has got to be the new guy that steps into their position and does the work that they really need to do. Last time, their Gragas just missed a couple of small smiting positions that ended up being the deciding factor in the game. Really unfortunate stuff, but Trash here, Trish, I should probably say it like that, Trish. Yeah, Trish. is going to be the hot player and on the hot seat right now, because a lot of the plays Nidalee can do, the farming, the engaging, the setups, all of it, really rely on Trish and his ability to do a good, solid effort. And the hot seat as well goes to Apollo, who did an impressive job in the top lane, really putting his name out there in the running for top laning to get himself into the top 5 here. He's definitely fighting his way up there. But Ryan Nuker is the only one currently holding him down in the 5th place position, I assume. So Ryan Nuker's on the fight right now to keep Apollo away from his position. And right now, after game 1, Apollo had the upper hand. Will he take it again is the question. So.
Yeah, the Fiora can be such an obnoxious champion too, especially when you're playing, obviously, against it. You can really lose a lot of health real fast against it, and early on you can fall behind just because of the passive, honestly, on Fiora. That's just a lot of just true damage that can come out.
On the hot seat as well is going to be Springfield, who did an incredible job last time, nearly getting the MVP spot thanks to his incredible peel and decision making, is going to be playing a much squishier champ against Cassiopeia. So not only will need to do a repeat performance, but do even more solid work. So in the hot seat is Springfield. Will be able to, I'd say, do enough to get his job done correctly. Meanwhile, in the hot seat as well is going to be Ashe, who has to get through a lot of damage. Even slight dispositions could be trace his spear right into the back of Nidalee's head, and that's going to be scary.
Yeah, and that's really the only downside to champions like Ashe in the AD carry role that just don't have that mobility is just something like an Italy spear coming in, and you could really get bursted down quick off of that.
Indeed.
That's why I only play Ezreal if I'm AD carry. I just don't trust myself. Too used to being a tank and jumping into the middle of people.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose I could easily do that on Ezreal too, though. That's
Go tank Ezreal, just go right in the middle.
I actually remember when Voyboy was playing like tank Katarina top, and he would just like rush the Sunfire Cape, and it was just so cheesy because like everyone would try to kill Cat because Cat's bursty and annoying, but you can't kill Cat because she's going tank, so it's just kind of a distraction more than anything.
Agreed. It ended up with you guys winning, right?
Usually.
Usually. That's a vote of confidence when you usually win. Well, who do you think will usually win this one?
You know, I really, this could really go either way. It is going to depend a lot on if Nidalee can get rolling a little bit and go off, and on top of that, if Ahri can get ahead, I think the Ahri, if she can land a charm, is going to have a pretty easy time taking out Varus or Cassiopeia or even Nidalee. So, I mean, it really is going to depend on, one, the ganks on Nidalee, and two, this Ahri being able to land some skill shots.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have some guaranteed... I was going to say, you're going to have some guaranteed long-range engage by the Zac, which is definitely strong. A lot of CC there, so...
Mm-hmm.
See if they combo it.
Now, here's one question that I have actually been pretty curious about. Cassiopeia does have an ability that prevents, displacements. So if she fires the W that prevents people from moving around, does that mean Zac's ultimate doesn't work anymore? See, that's a question I'm really curious about, because because this could be Sicarius, ending up, being a little bit less useful because of Zaku's decision to go Zac here. That's the real big question.
Guess,
but not very.
My guess is if he starts charging the ultimate, since if I'm not mistaken, he can't be CC'd. I'm guessing if he's already started charging it, he can finish it. But if he's standing on it and then tries to ult, maybe he can't. Would be my assumption.
I hope Sicarius is well aware of this, because, again, he's taking this champion without, no level 3. It's going to be, there's no level 4, no level 3. This is just going to be no level 5, no level 4. That's what I meant. Sorry. And possibly a level 2 or 3 into this matchup. So I hope Sicarius is aware of what he's going to be doing here. He's usually, according to what I'd known from Pun Pride, which is Sicarius' friend, I heard, was that Sicarius is more of a physical damaging mid laner than he is an AP one. So, that's what I heard from that's what I heard from the previous Saturday. Would expect that Sicarius does know what he's doing, of course. It's just interesting that he didn't take a physical one this time,
Yeah, definitely. But at the same time, you really rely a lot on that Nidalee popping off, if that's the case, though.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's still nice to get a little bit more AP in there. And I'm sure he's not just completely taking it, having not played in it at all, so...
Yeah.
Sure, he knows what he's doing on it, but...
Right. Finally, the Nocturne passive screen. We're finally at this part of the game. Let's see who is able to hit the skill shots, who's able to make the play, and who's going to come out on top. I do find this kind of interesting. It looks like Cleanse will be on Sicarius here. Doesn't want to be the one that gets caught.
Yeah, interesting to see that. You'll usually see a lot of the mid laners that aren't assassins will run Barrier, Cleanse, or Ghost as their other one. It's kind of interesting to see what champions they run which on. Of course, Ari being an assassin running the Ignite, so Cleanse not such a bad option.
I do agree to that. Looks like a pause has been dropped here. Probably some relocking in is probably one of them will have disconnected, I would assume.
Let's see the chat. Someone's mic is broken or something. Someone's mic's not working. Someone's mic isn't working.
Probably need to refresh it currently because
maybe.
I don't see any other new comments here. Let me go ahead and do that. Who said that, by the way?
Dark Apollo.
Dark Apollo? What? Oh, wait, I think I know what he's talking about. My microphone has been a little weird lately. Like, sometimes when I'm talking, it slightly mutes itself after a set period of time.
Oh, no, I meant, no, I'm sorry, not yours. His, Dark Apollo said his isn't working.
Oh.
Not that chat, sorry, I apologize.
Oh.
the in-game chat.
Oh,
sorry
okay.
for the confusion.
Yeah, all right. Good. Very good news. Because I thought mine was the one that was messing up.
I would imagine maybe he's just going to try and disconnect from Discord and reconnect and see if that works, maybe.
Right. Oh, you're checking the chat over there in the left corner. Oh, yeah, that's the one I've turned off because I'm ordered to by Xton to not clutter up the screen any further.
Come on, Dawn. I like clutter.
Can you believe this guy? He even told me I don't have to stream this. Can you believe this man? Unbelievable, I'd say.
So I'm expecting Nidalee to maybe get double buffs and then probably go for a top lane gank and try and put the Jace behind, especially with a lane bully like Renekton, who could really benefit from an early lead.
Mm-hmm. The champion is kind of made around that.
Exactly. If you get Jace going, though, he's going to have a lot of troubles out there. He's probably still going to have a lot of troubles with a lead, just considering that he's ranged.
Agreed, 100%.
Outside of that, I expect Zach maybe to have 2 levels into Elastic Slingshot before he tries a gank. That'd be my guess. Most people will generally put out a ward right around that minute and a half, minute and 45 mark when they know a jungler's going to be taking their second buff and maybe heading that way. So with Zach, it's nice to get that second level into that Elastic Slingshot.
Let's hope the problem in this does cure itself or fix itself very soon, because boy, we got an audience right here waiting for this game to finally come to its next conclusion, but so far not a single second has passed yet.
Well, 28 seconds have just...
Yeah, right, from the 28 seconds, yes.
Outside of being a smartass, anyways.
No, man, no. You fine. I'm the one, of anything, that should be the smartass.
We're getting some readies, apparently.
Okay, so hopefully they've got themselves sorted out here. Oh, interesting. We're getting some interesting conversations going on here. A hi guy says, "Put me in, coach. I will love to get into this game mode." That's how I read it. He might have said something different in the chat, but I'm not sure. But that's how I read it. Okay. So Barbie here. Oh, but by the way, hi guy, just so you're aware, on Friday we do have ourselves... Oh my goodness, there's something going on in my throat. I sound a little weird. Anyway, we do have ourselves a Friday event where we would love to have new players, new people coming in. So please show up for that. Ooh, Thunderlord's proc on Zaku makes him lose a little bit of health there.
Yeah, he's gonna be probably just fine though here. He's just gonna back off and get most of that back by the time these buffs spawn. Just a little bit of poke coming out.
True
Saying
stuff.
hi.
Very true. I would suggest that Barbie tanks maybe 1 or 2 of these though, because you want to have enough health bar to do your camp. You know, the Raptor camp.
Yeah, that
might be
that would
idea.
be the nice thing to do. Be the friendly thing to do.
Let's see if Barbie will take that as the option. Is, you know, 3 minutes will pass, so they won't exactly know, you know, what will happen with that anyway.
Zach laughing.
I know, right? Very jolly mood, that Zach. It looks like Zach will not be. Oh, there we go. Finally, Barbie does end up helping out there with the leash a little bit. Full health coming from Trish as he does decide to smite the blue.
Yeah, it's gonna get him a little bit of a lead on the clear speed, but Zach's gonna have this smite to use pretty much whenever he wants. He'll make up for it in a second.
By the way, where I'm getting that, the way I say Trish, I'm thinking of South Park, one of the South Park episodes.
Trish.
Yeah, with Trish. It's like, I think it's something Cartman would say, so I just feel like that's how you want me to say it.
Definitely a Cartman thing there, yes. Meme.
I'm playing League of Legends, man. Oh man, one more auto attack, and it looks like the Ashe will get stunned here. Lots of damage at that bot lane. It looks like an invade. Everybody's going really aggressive at the start of this. Trish has got himself charmed though. Walks into it. Free kill for the mid laner. Trish really misread that one.
Excellent charm out of Springfield there to pick up a free kill there.
Yeah, oh yes, absolutely. On point, accurate. Very on point.
And he's also going to pick himself up a blue buff, so that's going to be a lot of potential to bully this Cassiopeia there.
Indeed. And Ari now with a blue buff as well as a lead in with a kill is exactly the kind of upper hand Springfield would love to have against Sicarius right now.
Yeah, Zach doing basically the exact opposite of what I figured he would, and just going for ganks and invades right off the bat.
Indeed. The level 2 attempt gank did not exactly pay off like he was hoping for, but it does manage to keep Renekton on the lower end of trades.
Yeah, that pushed him back into his tower.
Yes,
really
Apollo seems to be struggling here. Rhynuker just needs at least one misplay. He's going to try to risk it all for it. It just ever so misses. Great dodge by Apollo with the E.
Yeah, definitely. And that'll burn the flash off of Rhynuker as well, so...
I gotta be honest, Fridge. I'm sure you... Oh, never mind. Looks like Trish is coming around the flank to get in some extra damage onto the Ahri. Tries to get the blue buff back, and just really good reflexes from Springfield to avoid any further damage.
Yeah, and the miasma that went down there's actually what caused Springfield to take so much damage on that one, because he wasn't able to flash out earlier. If he was, he would have only probably taken a little, maybe a quarter of his health bar, but lost well over half of it there because of that.
So, Rhynuker's and Apollo situation, I'm pretty sure you've been on both sides of this coin. What kind of advantage in this situation do you think Apollo has right now?
It's really going to depend on how he plays some of these trades. That hard CC that he's got, just point-click stun, is definitely something that's really good. He has built-in sustain, so he can't necessarily just let himself get poked out. He'll probably want to go in, preferably with a full Fury bar, and get a stun and a Q
is currently coming around the flank with Apollo. Some massive amount of spike damage. The auto attack slices the shoulder blade of Jace, cutting him down to the ground thanks to the effective gank by Trish.
Yeah, or he could just get a gank and get a free kill. That's one way to turn that lane around too, and he'll get a little bit of that farm back out of it too. So,
indeed. Some good damage. Sicarius loses a lot of health here. Uses the poison to increase his movement speed out of there. Sicarius is going to have to back. That was a little bit of too much health lost right now.
Yeah, Ari definitely capable of putting out a lot of health even this early on in the game. It's going to be a little bit scary when we get to the late game if she can land a charm onto some of the squishies here.
Especially Varus has got to be extra careful. He's basically going to need to use his ult maybe defensively just to buy a couple extra seconds for Jarl King.
Yeah, and there's a lot of stuff that can get onto him too between the Jace using his gate, the Zac jumping onto him, and Ari ulting into the backline, or even just an Ash arrow coming out of nowhere.
Some extra damage, some extra trades. It looks like Rhinuker used the misposition there on the dive in to knock him towards the wave and away from a solid retreat. Rhinuker, I think, got some good practice against the Renekton before because he timed that really well. Ooh,
Yeah, definitely.
Solid accurate shot. Rhinuker takes out Apollo.
Finishing it off with the Q, the fadeaway.
Right. I haven't seen that kind of fadeaway in League of Legends since watching a basketball game earlier today. Dude just turned around, shot the basket, drains it. Pickup game was over right after that. Nobody wanted to play. That was just too solid.
I was never that good.
Nah, same. You know,
I can make a layup. I can make a layup though.
Yeah, well I can't. Zaku going to make a big alley-oop attempt. Gets some good damage on King as he's going to force the shield up. Barbie is going to get retaliated on. Looks like the gank did not go as planned.
No, but they got some pretty good damage down onto actually both Varus and
Trish is going to get caught with the charm. The tail end of it is going to have a heal up and ready. Does survive the ignite by the slimmest of ticks.
That's the sort of thing that would just enrage me if I died on the last tick of Ignite. I feel like that's what would have happened to me there.
Indeed.
Definitely good of him to get away from that. Just barely. But,
Oh, yes.
That's an already Ignite down too, though, so...
So right now, both the top laners have themselves a kill, but Jace still has the farm advantage, and Trash is currently keeping himself barely alive to this red buff, is taking some good autos. Whoa! There's the spike. There's the kill on the red buff here. I was a little worried for a second, but does survive that, no problem.
Solid amount of health back from the smite, so he wasn't too worried.
Indeed, Rhinuker is getting some reinforcement here. That's a massive amount of burst damage. Trish instantly gets popped. Apollo follows up right away to revenge the fallen jungler. Trish was not expecting that much burst from the lethality that Jace had there. My gosh.
Yeah, that I wasn't even expecting that, and I play top lane. I see Jace frequently.
What did Jace even do to make that happen? That was so much burst.
He jumped. I just saw him jump onto the top of him, and the first auto in melee, in hammer mode form, whatever they call it, it does a lot more damage. I didn't actually check. Is he?
Definitely got a lethality on him. That's what he's got.
Yeah, that's gonna bring out a lot more damage from him too. He's up 9 CS still. He's kind of held a pretty consistent lead of about that much throughout, so.
Charm has been so on point. Springfield once again hits another one. Trash is trying to get some pressure into these other spots, trying to make a play happen, but does never seem to get the one he's looking for. Apollo's right here. Rhinuker thinks he's got him. Smacks him right into the hands of Zac. Zac's going to take him on for a ride and splash him into the ground. Apollo goes down. Stun hits. Jarl King ends up taking some trade back here, but does get the passive off, does some good damage. The AD carry is flashing some damage in. Barbie's got only one auto attack left in him. He gets pounded in by the Black Tornado. He hits the Q, but Ashe, angry at the fall of his beloved support, gets some returning fire, but is unable to get any kills on the trade back.
Yeah, so that'll go in the favor of Polarity there on that trade, of course, but that Rift Herald being taken.
Sicarius dodges it, does break the cleanse off of it. So Zaku is unable to get any extra CC. Sicarius manages to slither his way out of that mess. Ari's charm accuracy has been way on point so far this game.
Yeah, he's definitely landing some excellent charms, and it's allowing him to get a lot of damage off.
Good damage here. The ult comes off here, but Sicarius had no way to get away from that. Just ends up going down because of it. Apollo gets some good damage on Rhynuker.
Yeah, Renekton's starting to get a little bit scary with that Tiamat. If he can get in for his full combo and then just jump out.
Trish is in human form, doesn't want to use the spear to try to prevent Springfield's backing. It could have led to his death as well. Trash is a little bit squishier than I think he knows.
It didn't look like he had enough mana for a spear as it sat there. He was very low, so...
Speaking of very low, so is the Infernal Drake. They get themselves taking it out rather quickly, and it'll go into the hands of Polarity as they make sure that the game...
that was Ænima.
Ænima, right. Whoops. Thank you. Thank you for immediately correcting me. Ænima once again securing the Drakes in their favor as they're now 5 Drakes to 1. Well, actually 6 Drakes considering they also got Elder. Or 6 Drakes ahead of their enemy right now. If you want to count series to series. Games to game so far. Spear goes just a tick short. I thought Ash was going to get hit by that for sure. Rhynuker does not want to have an Apollo on the map anymore. Goes in and slams him into the turf.
Yeah, both of these top laners very capable of putting out quite a bit of damage on each other. It's just a matter of who gets the jump in the trade, it seems like.
Indeed, Trash right now is currently getting rid of a ward. Zach is able to see on the other side. Rhynuker is going to try to take out that tower first, and he should be able to do it. That's so much damage going in, and it looks like bot lane v bot lane is coming online. Barbies does not manage to get the ultimate out in time. Ash goes down to the well-coordinated CC and damage by both Black Tornado and Braum.
Yeah, just a little bit too late on that Taric ult, but we have Zach coming down.
Zaku moving into position here, gets some extra damage on to Black Tornado. It is coming through. It's a lot of damage. Black Tornado lost almost all of his health, but Taric goes down on the trade. Jarl King is going to try to fight off the jungler, but at the same time, Rhynuker surprises Sicarius, and damage is starting to flow all over the map.
Yeah, there's all sorts of things happening all over on the map here. Jace getting a kill in top lane and then immediately coming down after taking the tower to help Ari get a kill and maybe push this tower down as well.
Keeping
definitely good
keeping
rotation.
the momentum coming their way. Springfield is going to take advantage of Trash's standing there of the situation, going to fire a charm so quickly that Trash had no time to avoid it.
It's another charm landed too. I don't know if I've seen him miss any yet.
I know, he's been extremely accurate. It's kind of a wonder why he didn't take it into the game 1, because he was doing an incredible job with it so far. I think this is one of his hot picks from week 2 and 3. I remember Ari being passed around here, and Springfield was one of the champions that did a really good job with it. Trish goes and gets sabotaged. Jumped at the flank here as Rhynuker's completely out of mana, and Apollo knows that. He's got an ultimate. He's going to try to take out Rhynuker right here, right now. But here comes to the cavalry, Sicarius, as he blocks off one of Rhynuker's retreat paths. But I think Apollo's got it anyway, as he gets the shutdown and transfers the buff onto him.
Yeah, that's when if you're Trash, you just say you did it on purpose for the buff transfer.
Oh, yeah.
And they actually, I didn't see if they put that ward down behind the red buff as that was after that happened, or if that was already there. Let me take a look here. Looks like it was put down probably about a minute ago, so that might have been there.
And perhaps
we just walked in.
Yeah, I guess Trash did not see it when that invade was happening. Extremely unfortunate for Trash's sake, as it looks like he's going into the war coverage portion of a build path. I think that might be the smarter call here because right now Trash is in a bad spot and needs to get himself back into this game for their chances to get themselves a win for Polarity.
Yeah, I almost want to see him maybe just try and make something happen in bot lane. That's gonna be a little hard to do with the Terrac ult, though. It's not really happening in top, though, because Jace's damage is just too much right now.
Yeah, too much for Trash's current health bar and position here. Looks like Jarl King will be going on a ward clearing mission, takes out a control ward as Springfield is now moving himself into a position. The spear just goes ever so close, but once again a little short. As Jarl King blocks the charm this time to prevent Trash from getting caught by it. I mean, no, that's a little too harsh actually. That one didn't have a chance to go after him at all. Oh man,
very
Apollo
close.
does have the upper hand, but the ability comes up, but Reinuker still manages to unfortunately go down here. And it looks like Apollo gets the kill on the trade back. It looks like Zaku, at the same time as I'm talking, is making a play on Cassiopeia mid and is unable on the retreat as both Braum and Nidalee, as well as Cassiopeia, are on the return shot. He gets caught by the Q. It looks like Zach may have ran right into the spear there. Doesn't take a lot of damage, however. Good for his sake.
Action kind of happening all over the map here.
Right, it looks like Nidalee seems to be going into some sort of armor-based build. Nevermind does seem to be going for a Seeker's Arm Guard. Probably some Zhonya's action might be a good idea. Ooh, that's a lot of damage to TP, as it looks like Apollo barely gets out of that one. Ever use your TP quite like that, man?
I have done that before, actually. I've had 3 or 4 people walking up, and I tried backing, and someone stopped the back, so I was like, well, I'm just going to TP, I guess, because they can't cancel that with an auto.
Man, imagine it could, then that stink. It's like backs, that'd be bad.
Certainly hurts the global pressure, though, with it, though.
Ooh, Barbie takes a good trade back. Gonna have to eat a biscuit to repair that damage. They take out all the wards in that bush as Jarl King is possibly ready to put a new one in. Possibly.
Is it Jarl King or Jarl King? I almost feel like that's German.
You know what? You can go with whatever you want, man. It could be Arl King for all I care.
Someone confirm or deny that. Someone ask him.
Yeah. Well, if he gets MVP, we'll ask him personally.
That's something I need to know.
Ænima United has reconfirmed their lead from the previous game. They've got themselves out in front like they were last time. Although the lead is not nearly as big as it once was, it is their lead to have as of right now. Reinuker is about to show how much damage he can do to that 80 carry. Almost immediately takes him out on the pop, but looks like Black Tornado is going to show him why Tower is going to do some good damage. It's almost enough to take him out, but here comes the Cavalry taking him out in the trade back.
Just not quite enough. It was a really good flash by Black Tornado. He almost got away, but...
Reinuker must have been shocked, but was unable to get, unable to finish off his target. In any case, it looks like Jarl King, or looks like the less bounce cancels out the ultimate. Braum is going to get stunned. CC, pulled, dragged, and down he goes. As Sicarius will end up following suit as he tried to make a play on Ænima. Ænima clearly is very capable with this Ashe.
Yeah, some good arrows coming out, and I almost would say almost similar to the charms that we've been seeing, just both very, very well-placed arrows, well-placed charms.
Roars Apollo as it looks like he's going to end up falling back. Instead, the bot lane does get their ultimate off, and the Ocean Drake is going into the hands of Ænima United as the Drake score continues for them. Their lead continues for them, and the next Drake appears to be an Infernal. Something that could possibly end up swinging the rest of the game in the favor of Ænima United.
Yeah, and actually over the past about a minute, we're seeing Ænima actually doubled their current gold lead up to 3,000. It was at about 1.5.
Speaking of this, It looks like you are correct. According to Ricky Ninja, Jarl King is supposed to be pronounced with a Y after all. So he is the Jarl King. It is apparently a Norse and Danish chef. So he's the chef king, is what I'm getting the understanding of.
Okay.
So the king of chefs is a Santa. That makes sense.
He should be playing the Baker Pantheon skin, if anything.
If not that, he should play the Tom Kench skin with the one where he cooks.
I suppose.
That would work too. Well, or you could just go barbecue Leona, I think.
Oh, I can't wait for the Sushi Nami skin to come out.
Yeah, I also heard about that one, and the and the new SKT or Samsung, I should say, skin as well. Is that it?
Are you doing a Samsung one? The SKT one is the Nami's back on the SKT one. Is she just like lays down on like some rice and gets picked up by chopsticks?
Oh, yeah, I believe that's the one I was thinking of. I think that's the exact one I was thinking of. It's chef. It isn't chef. I don't know how else to say it. I try to say it differently. I can't. My pronunciation. Yeah, chief.
I before E, except for after C. Never mind. That's just a weird situation. You spelled it wrong though.
Okay. Well then. Yeah, haha! In your face, Ricky Ninja. You're the one who made the mistake, not me. I still made the mistake, actually.
Those weird English rules.
Yeah.
Nobody asked you, Ricky Ninja.
Yeah, but I thank you anyway for being a part of this chat. But screw you! You're the one who's absolutely having an opinion that's possibly really informative for everyone.
It's alright, we like you, Ricky.
Spelled it right the first time, unlike this army overlord fellow. Yeah, he didn't say that, but you get the idea. So the Jarl King is currently the most fed bot laner right now at the 2-1, as Black Tornado does not seem to be able to get what he wants out of this. Man, keep going. These skill shots by Trash is just going a little bit wide every single time.
Just a little. It just takes one in the late game, though. Once you get a couple items, you can really burst.
Oh, hi guy. Let me let you know about that right off the bat, since you're curious. The Friday event is going to be starting at 4 p.m. It is going to be a 4-game event. The first 2 are going to be new people, including free agents. They're got the first come, first serve, and anyone else that's needed. Oh, never mind. Looks like Renekton's gonna get caught real quick. As I say this, good catch by good old Ænima United to continue their advantage. Good catch on the Renekton, who seem to be slightly out of position. Apollo has clawed his way back in front of Rheinuker, but Rheinuker's damage is clearly very present. It looks like Trash is going to end up using a Zanya's Hourglass to avoid some damage here. Nidalee does get out, throws the spear here. It looks like a huge fight is finally breaking out. Ult's going off. The invulnerability has saved his mid laner, but can Barbie truly get out of this? Some Q damage. Black Tornado's health bar is almost gone. One more Q will only more than enough to finish him off. Springfield is waiting for a big play. Zaku makes the good catch. He gets some true damage as he gets forced down into stony turf and shoken up. But anyway, to finish up what I was saying, the Friday event starts at 4 p.m. on Friday. It is first come, first serve for all newcomers, including free agents. They automatically go first into the game mode, as well as anyone who can still fill does do so for the sake of the audience members, of course. Those are the first 2 games. Then the third game is going to be a ultimate bravery challenge. It looks like Jarl King is going to use a flash here, but so will the rest of the team of United. They want to make this a huge play. They're willing to throw a lot of resources here. The spear! Trash's spears are so close. They just always seem to just swing. Oh my goodness, close. They're always so freaking close, and they just miss.
Yeah, just barely missing a lot of them.
Ooh,
actually, I don't know.
Good steal by Trish. Aims that well effectively.
don't know if Zach knew there that you can actually land the Q on a champion and then hit a blast cone to pull them back with your auto.
Interesting. Very interesting. Oh yes, one other thing. So to finish up, it's going to be an Ultimate Bravery, all random game that'll end up happening for Game 3, and then finally Game 4 will be a 2v2 in Hollowing Abyss matchup between no confirmed decision yet. We will find out more about it on Wednesday, but the Ultimate Bravery will be Game 3, where we'll get everybody who either has interest in playing or anybody who is or isn't interested will end up being a participant fully allowed in this. Right now, Ænima United has complete control of the Drake pit. They go ahead and collect themselves a second Infernal Drake, and this could be the beginning of the end for Polarity, as right now Polarity is in a really rough spot, as Ænima United have gotten everything to go the way they wanted to. They have complete control of the area, they have good vision, and their jungler Zaku is in the right spot at the right time. Really great coordination so far from these guys.
Yeah, and 2 Infernals is a lot of extra damage for an Ahri that's already ahead as much as she is.
I know, and not just that, but also Zach is going to be able to do some pretty extra health-based damage. Barbie can now do some good damage as well, and Ashe is going to be even closer to that late-game build.
Actually, the only one actually kind of losing on Ænima here is Ashe here with the farm down by about 30, but kill death-wise exactly the same as Black Tornado's Varus, so...
Right. Ænima
just
saved
fine by that.
only a slight decrease from the previous, but still is doing a pretty solid job. Thank you very much, Hi Guy. I hope you will enjoy it. I would love to cast you, man. Can't wait for the Friday. It's gonna be a great one. I hope I can even see you two there, Fridge, if you can be there.
Hopefully I can. Last week I wanted to, but I ended up getting helped at work for an extremely extended day, unfortunately.
Well, quite sorry to hear that. It looks like some engage. Zaku wants to make a catch. He decides Brahm's going to be the one who gets catch. Jarl King's on the retreat here, as it looks like the slow is so intense. The team is coming back in. Zaku's passive goes off, and looks like Barbie does get the invulnerability to go off. Braum goes down on the trade back, as it looks like so far both sides cannot seem to get the engage they're looking for. Trish hits the shot heard round the world as goes down does Barbie. So no more healing for Ænima United here. It's going to be a little bit of a risky maneuver at what their next step is. I think they may need to fall back.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad idea. Springfield, looks like Springfield here just went back, so... just trading the supports in that fight, so... So.
Indeed. Zaku really likes the way Sicarius is positioned. He does go for it, and Sicarius avoids it with the flash.
Almost a little too risky to go for a tower dive there. I don't know if he had teammates close enough to go hard on that, but...
probably why he was kind of debating on what he wanted out of that. Probably held it extremely long just because of that reason.
But he does burn a flash out of it, so... ends up working out for him in the end.
Indeed. The crit AP damage is starting to come through for Trash, and his damage is starting to really get some good amounts here as well. It looks like he might be going for the Unholy Grail as well. Very interesting. Maybe he wants to try to get as much as he can in health spiking, try to amp up the heal for his E. I have seen Italy's do this, but it's usually more like they want to go extra AP. Apollo, great dodge on that E by Zaku. Great dodge by Apollo. That would have been a big fight. That could have been really risky for them.
Yeah, pretty good fancy feat there. They could have definitely decided maybe a Baron or something off of that. Spear's continuing to go a little bit wide, and Charm's continuing to land, it looks like.
Interesting. Zaku once again has just not getting the type of engage he's looking for yet. Give it time. I'm pretty sure Zaku is going to hit that big play, and we might see a huge engage soon. But it looks like Zaku was not inside the miasma. Really?
It's barely outside of it, and actually, you saw he was grounded as he was midair, as he started his jump, so he did get it off without being in it, but...
Wow, I thought he was in it for sure. Well, that's an unfortunate circumstance. I thought Zacharias might have had a catch there.
That would have actually been a really good play there. It would have been a Zac down, and they could have... He does not have passive, if I remember correctly, so...
Indeed.
They
Right
could have
now, Polarity
forced
is currently on the defensive end here, but they're far from having lack of damage. Nidalee clearly is still in this game, despite what has happened so far. Nidalee is still very dangerous.
Yeah, and that big farming lead that he has is actually getting him back into this a little bit. He's still down. When you're playing against a Zac that's 6-0, you're gonna be down if you're 1-4 regardless, but keeping him in the game with that farm at least a little bit.
I agree 100%, but I believe the next call ought to be positioning for Baron for Ænima United here. Although, what I would also think is a good idea, maybe a split push, maybe a 1-3-1 might also be a decent idea here. What do you think?
Well, when Baron is up, you'd want to have your top laner go to bottom lane if their teleport is up. So ideally, that would be what they do, and just kind of start a split down there and at least get that pushing in your favor. And then if they send everyone down to you, your team can start forcing a Baron with nobody there to contest it. And maybe you die for it, but your team gets a Baron. Otherwise, if they try to collapse on your team, you can teleport up and help your team out.
Couple of skill shots going off. You know, one thing I kind of did not really account for at first. Oh my goodness, that was a huge splash. I thought Trash was not going to get caught by that. My bad. I thought Braum blocked it. I was clearly wrong. Zaku tries a big play. It does go a little wide. The skill shots, they have a lot of big skill shots, but it looks like they're going to use them right now. Big fight finally breaking out from both sides here. It looks like Jarl King is on the defensive. The wall is up to protect himself. The ult goes off. It's going to be some good damage here. Zacharias returns it. Apollo gets caught by the charm, and here comes Ashe catching out Zacharias on the flank. Great coordination there by Ashe coming around the flank, forcing Zacharias to be caught in a bad spot there.
Yeah, and he just took the wrong path and got caught out for it. That's a great play.
Right now, Trish is low on mana, but does have a really high health spike heal for his the AD carry. So, do see some expecting things happening there. Trish currently is moving over as Jarl King might be walking right into danger. Poor Jarl King. That's one of the things that can happen to you. Trish
yeah, nobody has particularly great vision of Baron, so.
Trish. The CC is going wide and then forces the tower dive. Springfield is going to Zanya. And Trish goes down to the support Barbie. Damage coming through Zacharias. He's got to fall back. Springfield uses his ultimate. Good damage comes through. Tornado takes a lot of it as well. Ænima. Amasane goes down to Cassiopeia. Zacharias will end up being CC'd, locked down by Zac, and Zac will get the double kill for the ace.
Yeah, a relatively clean fight for Ænima there, coming out with 4 for 1.
Oh, I thought Barbie was about to troll Springfield a little bit there. That would have been pretty funny. That would have been pretty funny to watch.
I would have pushed one of those towers down as a group with 4 down.
Indeed.
Maybe they just want to back and get some pink wards out for Baron just in case they rush it when they respawn.
You might have just predicted the future here. I think you're absolutely right on that, as Zaku currently is taking his blue. into his hands.
Yeah, just try to deny the enemies as much of their jungle as you can when you're ahead like this.
Mm-hmm. Red buff spawns in here, and Jace currently is in the flank. He is well aware of where the red buff is, but can he steal it is the biggest question right now.
It is actually warded, so they know Jace is there.
Good burst damage. Reinuker did not get the opportunity at all. They took that so fast.
That went down, I think, a lot more quickly than you thought it would.
Yep, that's one of the surprising abilities.
Looking at getting some wards around Baron here. I'm not sure if they're going to go for it or not.
They're going to go ahead and start the Baron here. They have the upper hand. They have vision cut off. Oh, never mind. It looks like the... Oh, just a little prank, actually, onto Barbie.
Just a little bit of a bait there.
Indeed it was. Trash is on the retreat here as Jarl King's coming around to try to help out the support. Sorry, at this point, the Nidalee. Nidalee is on the run away from the teammates here. The big bounce pushes them right into the hands of the United group. And it'll end up being a triple kill for Ænima United. And I think possibly a Baron should be the next step here. While Jay shoves in mid, I'd say.
I would agree. You got to be a little bit careful with the Nidalee stealing it with a spear, but they don't have much vision around here. They actually have a pink ward down, so they're not going to be able to see it happening.
Reinuker right now keeping Nidalee in vision, so there will be very little to no chance at all for a steal here.
No contest whatsoever on it. Free
Into
Baron.
the hands of United.
And I would expect them to set up probably Jace in his own lane, probably bot lane, and then have the rest of the team push a different lane.
Spear just goes once again a little wide for Trish as he's on his way out of that circumstance here. The inhib is exposed thanks to Reinuker split push into the mid lane. I think that was a well-coordinated Baron play by United as they take advantage of that great victory here. And currently right now Zaku has proven to be an extremely effective jungler replacement for their previous one that won the MVP of game 1.
Yeah, I agree. He's doing an incredibly great job on Zac. That team fight, an excellent ult. They're pulling 3 enemies back into his team. And basically securing the Baron with it.
So on your regards to MVP here, are we looking at Zaku? Like, what would it take at this point for Zaku not to have the MVP? Oh my goodness, Barbie! You're not going to be in the next fight! Oh no! They're going to go without a support in this next one. All goes off as it looks like it's going to be Renekton going down here. Yet again, Apollo incredibly well farmed in the early stages. In the mid-game stages, seems to be evaporated a little bit, as it looks like Reinuker is well in front of the way he needs to be right now. Man, what an incredible dodge. Trish is having a difficult time even landing one spear. CC lands into the damage deal, and once again, Braum is the one caught out of position. Jarl King on the retreat with the shield on the block. It looks like Inhibitor 1 will fall down at the bot side here, as Ænima United should probably rotate over to the middle one. No, they're going to try to win the game here.
Looking to push for the win, yeah.
Going for the win here. Their damage is massive. They have the numbers advantage right now. Renekton's still not up yet. The damage is melting through these towers so quickly. Jarl King has no way to get in here in the way he likes. It looks like Black Tornado gets caught in some CC, and the Nexus falls so quickly, I can't even finish my sentence. Ænima United wins 2-0 against Polarity.
Great game for Ænima there. Excellent play from Zac, and excellent play from Ari as well. I think I saw maybe one charm miss that entire game, but just on point with all of them.
Right now, a huge surprise here coming out of Ænima. Very shocking that they actually came out on top. I don't think there were a lot of people expecting Ænima to come out with the victory here. And so if I can get my hand on the standings real quick, we'll take a quick look at the standings that are currently placed on the website. you'll see exactly why I mention what I'm saying right now. Enema United was currently fighting for to try to get themselves out of last place here, but due to this now recent victory, they have now clawed their way on to the next opportunity they've got. They now surpass ESG and are now into the playoffs currently as ESG falls one game behind them. Big win for them, and at the same in the same regards here, a very key loss that now gives Never Back Down a chance to take the Polarity's chances to get back into this one. What a surprising upset, as Polarity was in some regards favored to win this one. A little surprising. What a very drastic improvement by Enema United as they clawed their way right into the playoffs.
Yeah, Ænima looked really good today. I watched their
Into
games
playoff
yesterday. It was a
opportunities, I
little,
should say. Sorry,
yeah,
playoff opportunity. I shouldn't say playoff itself. There's still many weeks away. I gotta censor myself a little bit better than that. But anyway, so very great job out of this team. Extremely, their fight is still in them. They still want to keep going. They still want to keep themselves in this matchup. So really great job, as it looks like Polarity drops only a very small amount in this opportunity.
yeah. I expect that. I expect to see Ænima getting better and better. They're one of those newer teams, so as they continue to play with each other, they could really be a force to be reckoned with once they get a little bit of that synergy.
Yes, indeed. Their synergy was really well, and I gotta be honest, I think MVP might go to Zaku here. Complete control of everything, ganked really, really well, on point, did a lot of damage, able to make a lot of plays for Enema United. Really good job for Game 2's MVP. What do you think about that?
I think it's pretty hard to argue with that. There, I completely agree. The only other I guess argument you could put is just Ari was just so consistent with the skill shots, output a lot of damage, and got a pretty big lead in the mid lane. But
Mm-hmm.
Zach was all over the place and doing a really, really good job getting everybody ahead.
Indeed. I gotta admit, Black Tornado, maybe that might have been come off a little bit of a sour taste. I apologize for that. Your team, technically, Polarity, is a newer team against Enema, who's a more of a veteran team. But both of them are now in the playoff opportunity, and I cannot wait to see maybe these two go at it if these two teams continue to do successful, which I do expect to happen. Every team in this league is also fighting to their last to try to get the upper hand in this race for the playoffs, as it is beginning, as we're getting closer and closer to that very special couple of games. So
Yeah, it's starting to wind down now.
indeed, and we got only a few more weeks left to go before it really gets to the good parts of the games. Now let's pick ourselves a series MVP. As we know, the junglers for Enema United, both of them have been extremely well. Oh, by the way, I should probably show the statistical points real quick for damage. Ari did the most damage that game. Springfield consistently doing lots of damage.
Yeah, he actually looked really good in both games of the series here.
Mm-hmm.
Consistency, good consistency, not bad consistency. That's the key.
Yeah, very much the key. Great warding as well from him as well. Nearly doubling the warding out of his own jungler. I got to be honest, I think Springfield might have kind of been a great amount of consistency to earn himself the MVP. Although Ryan Nuker, let's not take that away from him. He definitely is the kind of top laner that definitely really fought his way into a nice solid position for where he is. He was a little bit on the worser end of Apollo's wrath for a short while, but Ryan Nuker really stood his ground and did a really good job.
Yeah, it was a good back and forth battle going on in the top lane, and I enjoyed watching that. But Renekton just started to slowly fall off, and eventually Rhinuka was able to just take him over and start winning those fights. Unfortunately, the curse of Renekton there is that you can really win the early game, but if you don't win it hard enough, you kind of fall off. So
True stuff, never been spoken. Springfield, I think, because of the circumstances at hand, I think you won yourself a nice good old MVP of the series, thanks to your great consistency, as well as your damage output was on point. You warded really well, and you know what? I think that makes you one of the big valuable players of both game 1 and game 2. So I think through your consistency, despite Ryan Nuker's very well performance, Springfield, I think you just took it away from him at this point. Come on into the general lobby if you're ready to go ahead and get this interview over with. Let me know what kind of music you want as well when you get in here, man. Oh, it looks like finally he's coming back. Springfield, I just want to let you know you won the MVP. I hope we can get yourself in the caster lobby. Me and Fridge got a couple of questions for you. You really did a good job.
Yeah, no argument from me there. You looked very good today.
Mm-hmm.
The team as a whole, as we said, they all look very good today, and
Indeed, and I gotta know from the captain himself what he thinks about his team right now. I bet he's pretty proud. I know I am.
yeah, he has every reason to be.
I just moved it back into the Ænima United group.
Better.
Sorry. Springfield, I'm so
Hello?
sorry. I moved you back to Ænima United.
I
That's
was
gonna
like,
go
what
in the
the
highlight
hell,
reel.
man?
That's gonna go in the week 5 highlight
We
reel.
were
right
just
there.
kidding. You're not MVP anymore.
No.
Oh, okay, that's
We
cool.
changed. It was Ryan Nuker the whole time.
I got P anyway.
Yes, you got MVP. Congratulations. You did great in both game 1 and game 2. Being the captain of your team here probably gave you a pretty big edge as the playmaking clearly showed a lot of drastic improvement. Give us a little bit of a rundown of that, because that was great, by the way.
I might have the captain label, but I really don't feel like it. Like, I bring them together for practice, but that's about it. Like, between me and Ryan Uker, we both tried doing shot calling. Zaku really helps with it too. So I don't think it was just me making the plays. I think it was everybody there.
And that, you know what? I can believe that statement. You really did a very good job, like genuinely good job as a whole for your team. Really on point on the skill shots, very on point damage wise. You hit so many charms in game 2. My goodness, I've never seen such incredible accuracy in a while from an Ari. It kind of reminds me of week 3 when you were doing the same thing extremely well too. I think week 2 and 3, you when you got that Ari, you were just dominating. So it's good to see you're still good with her.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. Good modesty there. So let's get one quick question from me, and then probably one from Fridge too. So you're currently with those 2 wins, according to the standings, that puts you guys in the running for playoffs, as you guys have just squeezed your way right past ESG Gaming to get yourselves into the point system for playoffs currently. Really good job from your team. What do you have to say about that as you're squeezing into the playoffs coming into these final weeks?
I don't know what to say. Like, the team really pulled through today. Even the junglers was switching them out. The sub at first, and then the starter came in for game 2. They both really showed up. Especially that Elder Dragon steal was pretty crucial. And yeah, the Zac was just unstoppable. After we got that first blood on Italy, I just felt it was over.
Indeed. Speaking of that, before I forget, because this is kind of very important, what do you want to listen to into the audience? Because you won the MVP, so you get to pick what song you like. So what do you like?
This is a team choice here. I have never heard this song. I guess it's called the Benny Hill theme.
All right. Oh,
So,
I think I know what the Benny Hill theme is. Let me
I
double
do
check.
not know what it is. I do not know what it is. It was all them.
All right, let's see. Oh, I know exactly what this is. All right, everybody, here's your treat for a song. It is the song where a chasing theme usually is played here. It's a kind of like a running gag of a song. I hope the audience really likes it. It's pretty nice. I think your groove is probably trolling you a little bit too with it. It's kind of funny.
Probably. Wouldn't doubt it with them.
All right. Well, the Benny Hill theme is playing. You're welcome very much. They're already laughing in the in the end of the game as well. So Springfield. That'll be it for my question. What about you, Fridge?
Okay, you guys are a relatively new team here, relatively fresh in the league. You've been playing together for, just a couple of weeks now, right?
As a team, yes.
Yeah, and obviously starting to show a lot of very good improvements. Where do you think you guys can go as a team once you start getting more well synergized?
That's a tough question. I really don't know where I can see us going. Like hopefully we can go all the way, but I feel like there's some strong competition in here in the gold level. But I'd like to go all the way.
Well, I believe that you guys have a solid chance now that you've entered in to the playoff opportunity as the weeks are coming close. I do hope you guys can come with another victory here in next week's performance. Springfield, thank you very much for showing up.
Thank you guys.
You're very much welcome.
Thank you.
All right, well, we'll see you next time, Springfield. Thank you once again for showing up for this interview.
No problem, guys.
Congrats,
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Listening to them talk with this going on in the background is a joke. All right, I'm going to go ahead and turn this off since it's basically the point was made across. All right, well, Fridge, you came, you saw, and you ganked my lane, which happened to be the casting lane. Thank you very much for TPing in.
Yeah, not a problem. Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, I literally pinged you 7 times to get here. Just needed...
I was AFK. I'm sorry.
A likely story.
Pizza is too good.
Indeed, indeed. All right, well, that'll be it for the Polarity and Ænima game. Let's see what Ænima's got in store for us next week. And Polarity, you're not out of the fight yet. You guys are right in the middle of the action. Let's see what you guys have in store for us. My name is Army Overlord, and here with me was...
I'm Fridge.
He's the Fridge.
Still am.
All right. Thank you very much for watching this game. I'll see you guys on Friday. Please make sure you drop any suggestions you might have into our suggestions tab or a content creation tab, or anything that you guys feel should be there for the Friday event. It would be really nice to get some good ideas for Fridays. It's coming up in a few days, so I would love to have as many ideas from the community as possible. We'll see you guys next time. Thank you very much for watching.
Bye-bye.